I like how every YouTuber on YouTube has to say this after every fucking video of theirs. Subscribe to my channel if you want more content like this. Well, obviously, if you wanted more content and to be kept updated on a certain YouTuber's content, then obviously you would subscribe to their channel. But the way I see it, you shouldn't, that can get really annoying. It's almost like you're forcing them to do it, in a sense. Or at least trying to. So really, again, it's all up to, the YouTuber in question watching your videos, you know what I'm saying? Second thing that's on my mind, turns out that shooting we had in California a couple of days ago, turns out the shooter had Asperger's. I'm like, fucking fantastic. I say that with all sarcasm intended because of the stupid idiots in our country who see this and now all of a sudden have an irrational fear of people with Asperger's because they're afraid they'll get capped in the ass or some shit. Quite frankly, it's ridiculous. Maybe it's just me, but if those pills he was taking wasn't exactly working, maybe that's why he didn't like his medication and refused to take it. But you stop and think about it for a second. He was in California, where it's legal on a medical level, so maybe he could have gotten a green card instead. He didn't think about it, because I'm sure killing 7 joints would have been a lot better than killing 7 people, am I right? And marijuana has been shown to help with Asperger's a little bit, so I'll say it again, you know what, if he wasn't getting none, he could have waited, tried a dating website, or whatever, or people outside of his local area there, it's a college town, and socially he doesn't quite fit in, maybe he could have tried for someone outside of that area or whatever, or a dating website, or if worse came to worse, say he definitely got a real doll, one of those, realistic sex dolls or whatever, you know what I'm saying, then he wouldn't have to, because clearly he was upset that he hadn't, that he was still a virgin, and that apparently upset him so much that he did what he did. Okay, look. Now, in our society, the way it is, there's a lot of hype and pressure to have sex and be good at it. And so because of that, it can lead to a lot of confusion and people often have this misguided view of celebrities and people that are popular or better looking as getting it on at an early age, and they somehow think that makes a person an adult or mature or whatever. And the truth of the matter is it doesn't. A lot of celebrities weren't having their first encounters until they were in their 20s anyway, so, if you find out facts about that, and then calm down, wait for it to happen, don't. You know what I'm saying? It will happen eventually. Okay. But I guarantee you now he's not going to get that chance because he crashed his car into someone else's car and pulled the gun on himself. Okay? Which really proves why, me personally, what he did does not sound appealing. Because 3 things happen. I end up taking my own life, I end up getting my life taken by a cop, or I end up going to jail. Okay? And none of those options really sound fun. So pulling a mass shooting is just, not one of my priorities, to be honest with you. However, because of all the shootings we've had in our country, I did feel a little secure knowing that I could purchase a shotgun legally and have something, at least, to protect myself with. Now, am I holding it right now? No. No. But there's a quote from Spider-Man that says, with great power comes great responsibility. And 12 gauges are pretty powerful. I guarantee you, if I had been there, I would have stopped the fucker from killing all those people. I would have taken a slug to his knee and then a slug to his hand. It would have made it impossible for him to first his hand and his knee. You know, he wouldn't be able to hold the gun, and then he wouldn't have been able to walk, see? That's me like, chunk. Don't move, dirtbag! You know? And then, wait, and the people are like, well, why did you do that? I'm like, because he was attempting to shoot a place up, that's why. Unfortunately, I wasn't there, so... A little odd fact that sex dolls were originally invented for mentally disabled people who weren't capable of holding a healthy relationship. So, yeah. But, you know, again, you know, I'm sure he would have waited, maybe, you know, kept his anger and his frustration on YouTube and left it there, you know. There's a difference between him and me. We both have Asperger's, yes, but you know, I can distinguish reality from fantasy, and, you know, even if I had met Stephanie, I wouldn't have pulled something like that anyway, because it would have happened eventually, you know. I'm just saying. But, the concern lies in the fact that once I found he had Asperger's, I was like, oh, great. Because now you're going to have, like I said, the eighth country who, for whatever reason, watch the news, and whenever one group gets labeled into a bad situation like this, or anything in particular, they automatically label that group as a whole as one, and it's completely unfair. But that's life, unfortunately. But it's because of things like having a girlfriend, my girlfriend Stephanie, you know, having some decent guitar skills and decent vocals that you could say. I'm not exactly wanting to pull anything like that anyway, because I would lose all that just because someone pissed me off, you know. And at the end of the day, if someone makes you mad, it really isn't worth holding that anger in, you know what I'm saying? It really isn't. So, at the end of the day, once it's all said and done, you got yourself and the people you're with, and that's all that counts, right? Right? Yeah. And a lot of autistics I've noticed on YouTube, people who have Asperger's, have YouTube accounts for the one reason, because it helps them get shit off their mind, you know, it helps them have a healthy place to vent shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're having a bad day, get on camera and talk about it, you know, and get your experience out there. And that's great, you know, if it stays on YouTube, fine, you know. But people will look at him like he's crazy because he had the urge to kill and actually went through with it. Okay, here's the difference. Every human has the urge once in a while. The difference is acting upon it, and acting upon it's not okay. Plain and simple. Now, there's a fine line between standing your ground and going out and randomly killing a bunch of people, okay? Someone breaks into your house with a gun with the intent to kill you and your family and take all your shit, and you shoot them in self-defense. That's one thing, okay? That shooting in California, like I just went out and randomly kill people, that's the difference, okay? Now, the thing of it is that, unfortunately, you're going to see these anti-gunnies are going to go, this is why we need to get guns banned to prevent shit like this from happening. I can understand why you're thinking that, because you're thinking the gun's responsible for it. And the truth of it is, it isn't. And even if you did make guns illegal, it would just create a black market for these guns. And, you know, these guys selling you the guns aren't going to care if you're 18 years of age or older. They're not going to give you some paperwork to fill out. And they most definitely won't give it to you disassembled in a box. You know what I'm saying? Buying that shotgun at Sportsman's, they required me to fill paperwork out. They called in with the FBI and everything, and then they gave me the shotgun disassembled in a box. Okay? That's the difference. Now, the difference between that and similarity to marijuana in this case, as we're talking about him being in California, and if he would have gotten a green card, you think he would have pulled it? Not likely. Not likely. If parents are so worried about their children getting high and buying drugs off the streets, then legalize these drugs and regulate them and tax the hell out of them, and have a responsible person that says if you're under the age of yada yada yada, you can't buy them. And you look at it from a perspective of people are doing it anyway, irregardless of what the law says. So you're really just wasting taxpayers' money when you start to think about it. But you know, how much taxpayers' money exactly? Well, Natrona County wastes about $9.15 million for starters. That's a lot of money, and that contributes to the $42 billion a year that this country wastes on a drug war. That's obviously failing, and failing miserably. I noticed that California is putting into vote for legalization sometime this week, so this week or next week. So that's awesome. I'm glad to see that they're at least making the effort. But talking to someone who's been through something like that, you know, that's why YouTube's out there, right? Some people are coming forward with confessions on camera and saying how they felt about it and felt right. How they felt about it, you know, and just talking about it. And if that makes it better in some way, then awesome, you know. It's a lot better than holding it in, at least, you know. But even if he didn't, you know, there would have been so many better options than doing what he did, you know. And if he didn't want to fork out the $4,000 for a really expensive sex doll, he could have got a pocket pussy and said, you know what, fuck it, this is the best I'm going to have to do for now. Yeah, it would have been a much better option, you know, than letting it build up to the point where it's just, you know what I'm saying. You know, in some cases like these, you're thinking, what if they would have had trained and professionally trusted armed guards at the schools to prevent something like that? Now, part of me is thinking that's kind of sad that we have to resort to armed guards to protect our schools, but at the same time, if that's what needs to be done to prevent school shootings, then why not? Oh, because it would cost taxpayers extra money and yada yada yada. And some people want to sit there and say yes, 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 and more guns aren't the answer. Well, what is the answer then? You know. Because here's the thing. He's Asperger's, was he not? Now let's say he would have run into something like an Asperger's dating website for people like us who are autistic and single and socially awkward. Check this. Now he's meeting a female who's autistic as well, and then he finds out, and he was into the blondes obviously, so maybe he finds a blonde autistic on there, and they connect real well, and they meet in person, and they hit it off great, and, you know, again, a much better option than picking off 7 people. And then he stabbed his roommates too. That's something, you know, makes you wonder why, what it is, you know. And in this case especially, you know, California is one of the strictest states to get guns in, and yet this guy somehow got a hold of a couple pistols and like 400 rounds of ammunition. Holy shit. You know, it's just one of those things where, wow, you know, how and why. And again, not all, you know, if you actually lived a good 4 to 6 months with Asperger's syndrome, you know exactly what we go through on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making it out to be a charity case or nothing. I'm just trying to explain my side of the story here, okay? So the fact that he had Asperger's, I sympathize with him on that, 100%, because I have it too, okay? The fact that he wasn't very socially accepted by women as he claimed. I can kind of feel for him on that one too, because I was there once before I met Stephanie. That definitely changed the ball game on that. But then he goes and kills 7 people, and like, that's where my sympathy for him just ends completely. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you're allowed to be depressed and angry, but then you take it out on 7 people that probably had nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that's a line that, yeah, you know. Something to think about. Until then, this is KingCobraJFS with another video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.